Hey, TIB family. T.A. Burrows here. And no, I'm not the guest on this week's Priory, but the guy who is near and dear to my heart. He toured in 2001 and 2013, but long after TIB left the road, he continues to tour. You see, he performs as a stand up comedian for Air Force Entertainment and travels to bases and entertaining our military men and women and their families. Please welcome to the TIB Priory, Walter Campbell.
On you.
All right, folks, look who we've got here. Now, I assume this isn't a green screen or an AI
Great, one of those Zoom background photos. So
background, but okay, so just to prove you're not AI, Walter, what would real Walter say that AI Walter would not know?
what would
How would you
real
prove your existence on this earth?
so if we're gonna keep it blue, it would be Clem,
That's perfect.
right?
That's
If we're gonna keep
perfect.
it
Yeah.
blue, if we're gonna
We
keep
have
it blue, it's gonna be Clem.
we have the real Walt here, folks, for sure.
Yes, absolutely. And then
All right, man. Well, it's
for all my
great to
regular
have.
folks, Michael
Yeah, man.
Jordan is the greatest basketball player to ever play the game. That's how you know it's me.
I'm gonna take your word for that. I'm not a big basketball guy. Even though 6'4" of me, I'm not a big basketball guy. All right, so Walt, thank you for coming on the Priory. I appreciate it, man. Before we start getting all things Walt and all things blue, I want to hear your thoughts on Chief's retirement ceremony.
Oh wow. So a lot of emotions for myself. And then it's always good to see everybody come back. So for those that didn't attend, it was mini worldwide banquet, if you will.
Yeah, I agree.
Very right. The first night, the dinner night was
Mhm.
very worldwide-esque,
Yeah,
which was appropriate. First Lady Doris came down and sung, and just a lot of priors in the building, priors I
Mhm.
hadn't seen in a long time.
Yeah,
So it was good. Again, it was very worldwide-esque,
yeah.
uh,
I would agree. I
right?
would agree.
With the band in the pit, and just it was that vibe and that feeling, and
I
even during rehearsals, Ed Jones was at the helm, right? That
yeah,
was that
yeah,
was refreshing. To see him back at the helm and directing and moving
yeah.
traffic and coming
It
in
did have some
here.
old school vibes to it.
Oh man, yeah, like people just fell into place. Like we hadn't been around each other. Normally it's a consistent every year, right?
Right.
Every 12 months, 11 months, we all
Yeah.
get together and rehash and redo
Yeah.
everything we've always done. But
Yeah.
it's been years since, pipe and drape and
I fell right into that. I
sequence
walked in the building not even expecting to do that. Well, I fell right into it.
fell
The
right into
key
place.
goes, "Hey, you want help with pipe and drapes?" I'm like, "Sure."
Fell right into place, right?
Right
Fell
into it.
right into place. So
Yeah.
it was great. The whole weekend was great. I'm gonna be honest, like I said at the dinner, I just came because I didn't think he was actually gonna do it. I thought he was gonna pull another bait and switch
Yeah.
and at the last minute be like, you know what? I'm not going anywhere. I'm just gonna stay here for another 10 years. Because
Right. Right. Right.
I think I've seen since '01, I think I've seen seven. I'm calling it quits by Chief. So I just came to make sure it was real. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, and it was definitely real.
It was. Yeah,
It
I
was
cried.
definitely
Yeah,
real.
little tear.
There was a lot. There was a crap ton of emotion. What I did find interesting was that I thought for sure would happen, and I brought mine. I thought for sure we'd have a goblet. I thought for sure we'd have a goblet thing. We didn't have a goblet thing. I even brought it thinking, sure they're gonna have one of those.
Oh man, that would be. But so a goblet would have been great. I didn't bring mine. But also that would be long, right? Are you talking about where everybody says something, or
Yeah,
just we do a toast with the goblet?
yeah, just do toast. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah,
Don't
eight
do the
toast.
version like we normally
Oh
would.
yeah, that would
You're right. We'd
be.
have been there till
Oh, we
four
would
o'clock
be
in the
there
morning.
forever.
Yeah, right, right.
We'd
Yeah, I
still be
was
there.
like, when are we gonna do a goblet thing? And it didn't happen. But yeah, I thought, I mean, all the stuff that you guys did, that you guys performed, and by the way, your your version of the anthem, dude, that took me back because at the '92 Worldwide,
Right.
JC Klein was running the chorus. We all had to learn our parts, and I got the bass part in the anthem, and it was just about exactly what you did. I'm like, this brings back memories. Walt's killing that one part. This is so
Oh
cool.
man. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that was um that's what happened, right?
Yeah,
When I came off the tour, everybody's like, "Oh, your Tops of Blue, come sing," and I would
yeah,
tell people, "Look, I don't, I know the Tops and Blue national anthem. I don't know how to
right,
do the regular
right, right,
degular one,"
right.
and so
That was
then
so freaking funny.
yeah, and yeah, so yeah, that's true, and it's interesting. I just started putting that on stage probably
Huh?
about 3 months ago. That was the first time I put it on stage.
Oh, wow.
I've said it, around people,
Right.
and then a friend of mine was like, "Man, you have to put that on stage." A good friend of mine, Ali Sadiq, he was like, "Man, you have to put that on stage. That's
Oh,
hilarious."
absolutely.
So yeah,
Absolutely. That was a killer.
yeah.
I told you I lost a bet because you doing chicken wing. Thank you
Oh
very
man,
much.
not
You
planned at
know,
all. I wasn't expecting it. Miss Linda stood up and she didn't say a word. She just stood up.
yeah.
Miss Edwards stood up and like motioned like for me to come back to the stage. And I thought they were gonna, talk to me like, Chief had came up and spoke about, certain folks
Mhm.
in between their performances. So I
Yeah.
kind of thought it was one of those. And she just kept motioning to come back center. And I looked at him and he wasn't getting up. And she gave me the look like, and she didn't say, man, when I say she didn't say a word to me, she
Mhm.
just kept motioning to the middle of the stage. And I was like, okay, I got it. And
So it was like a mental telepathy thing going
it
on
was,
here.
yeah,
Is that what
man.
it
It
was?
was,
It just
yeah, man.
eyes, you know.
Yeah, bro.
Well,
So, it's a, I guess,
if Linda
officially
wants it, Linda's
retired.
gonna get it,
I'm
right?
sorry.
If Linda wants it, Linda's gonna get it.
Oh, and so that was the whole, but see, that was the whole premise and the gimmick in the beginning was I would say people like, oh, you're gonna do the chicken wing all week at Worldwide. You're gonna do the chicken
Yeah,
wing,
yeah,
you're gonna do chicken wing.
yeah.
And I'd be like, no, no, no. And then I was like, well, the only way I'll do it, because I didn't want to come off like too good to do it, right?
Right, right.
But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't want to also do it every single year.
Right.
And
Well, you got to
that
find that balance.
got to find the balance.
Yep.
And so, my logic was if who's the one person people aren't going to run to and ask, something of, right? When they see Miss Linda and they see Miss Edwards, like,
Mhm.
it's the regalness, and I was like, yeah, if Miss Edwards says for me to do it, then I'll do it. And then it was like people were going to her saying, tell Walt to do it. And then she was like, no, I'm already in. I want to hear too. So it backfired, but
Yeah.
it's a staple, right? It's almost as much as God bless USA, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. I mean, honestly, Walt, you're part of that legacy. I mean, you're part of the legacy anyways. But that
Yeah,
song
yeah.
has become, like you said, it's like right there in the same ranks as GB USA.
Yeah, yeah, I've tried not to do it. Like, trust me, I have tried not to do it. There was one year I didn't even bring the music file
And
and
oh, that's
audio
do you have that on
already had.
standby? Do you always have that music on standby?
They have it. Like, there was 2 years I didn't bring it. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, so this is how I'm not gonna be able to do it. Right, just ain't gonna have the music. And I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, and they were like, yeah, they would just hit play, and I was like, oh,
Right. So for the folks that aren't aware, what Walt and I are talking about here is him and I and many, many other priors went down to see the retirement ceremony for Tom Edwards, who was the chief of Air Force Entertainment for, well, since 73, 62 years
62
of federal
years.
service. I think that includes his military and his time with the agency, which is mind-boggling, just freaking mind-boggling. So yeah,
Man.
they had 2 nights of events. The official ceremony was the second day, and it was nothing short of spectacular. I've been to a ton of military retirement ceremonies. I have never seen anything like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Anything like that.
yeah, yeah.
You
I
seen
mean,
anything like
62
that?
years?
That's just. But what got me was, and I've never seen this, and maybe you have seen this. The gal that did the retired chief that did the flag. Have you ever seen that
Yep.
before?
I have. So I actually know her. That's
Oh,
Hannibal.
really?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
had no clue to her existence.
yeah,
Or that,
yeah,
dude, I think I've played that 10 times since I've been home. That's just
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, Hannibal is she's a retired chief.
Uh-huh.
She was also a drill sergeant or TI, excuse me. She was a military training instructor. Let me get that
Yeah.
right before, it's kind of like DFAC and chow hall and dining facility and all
Oh yeah,
that.
she was wearing the fatigues that I came in with, the same type of boots I came in with.
Yeah, she's an MTI,
Yeah.
retired chief. She's the greatest. Just down to earth. She's a performer. She's just a true, genuine person, and she believes in the Air Force. She believes in the military, and so she did that poem "Old Glory," which I hadn't heard it since I until I saw her do it a couple of years ago,
Yep.
and it's just a beautiful rendition of it. Like it's passionate. She would have won a Roger
Oh,
had she done
hands down.
worldwide, she would have won Roger. She had a seat on the bus. And I'm gonna tell you who would have loved, and he's probably seen it, he probably saw it, but um who I would love to sit down and talk to about that performance was Jim Walker,
Oh yeah, for sure. You are absolutely right about that. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
right? Because that was his forte, right? That
Yep.
was his, the dramatic presentation, the dramatic
Mhm.
speech. That was his thing. And so
Yeah.
I would love to have chopped it up with him about um, Hannibal doing Old Glory, because I mean, she comes in and she does it in different, different versions visually. Like she'll come in with the BDUs, she'll come in with the
Oh, really?
the
Well, that
regular
that's good. That's
greens.
interesting.
Yeah, yeah, she's
Wow.
done it. She's done it multiple times at multiple retirements, and so I've seen her in different uniforms. I won't even say outfits, uniforms, right? And
Yeah.
the stay flow starch is stay flow starching, right? It's
You can cut yourself in those creases.
man, the boots are shine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not that leather luster. I'm talking
Yeah. Yeah,
straight
real spit shine.
kiwi, cotton
Cotton ball.
ball. Yes.
Yep. Yeah, I was blown away by that. And another thing that really caught me, which shouldn't surprise me, but it kind of did, uh, the retired general that oversaw Tom's ceremony. What was his name
Oh,
again?
General Jones.
General Jones. Thank you.
General Jones.
He was amazing off the top of his head. He just
Joe,
he just went with it, man. I'm like, how
man.
did he did he rehearse this? Is this all impromptu?
That's
That
always
was
been him, though.
amazing.
Always been him. So he's been a big supporter. So when I was stationed at San Antonio for 7 years, he was the commander over Lackland,
Uh-huh.
and wing commander over Lackland. And we struck up. I would do different things on base, and he would also come to Worldwide and hang out at Worldwide a lot.
Right.
So he and I had a really good relationship. And so yeah, he didn't know I was going to be there, and I didn't know he was going to be there. So
Right.
he saw me come out, like I saw his face, and he was like, "Oh my God, it's Walt!" And then when he did his thing at the retirement, I was like, he should have been like he could have been a performer as well, man. He was
Yeah,
hilarious.
it was probably 15 minutes,
Yeah,
maybe,
yeah, yeah.
of complete off that, didn't miss a beat, was
He was
funny,
on it. He was
and it
on it.
was so good. I'm like, this guy's got some talking chops, man.
Yeah, and I didn't know that. I hadn't seen that.
Yeah,
I've seen him. I've seen him speak, but not to that level. And when you don't have the stars on your shoulders anymore, you can let loose a little bit.
yeah,
So
yeah, you can loosen up a little bit.
you can let
Yeah,
loose. You can
and he
let
did.
loose. Yeah.
He
So yeah,
did.
he let loose a little bit. So no, that was really good to see. That was
Yeah,
really good.
that was pretty special. All right, so let's talk about Walt a little bit.
Ooh.
I'm really curious. Um, During your formative years, what comedians did you gravitate to when you were a youngin?
Uh, so the first comic was Eddie Murphy, just
Yeah,
plain and simple Eddie Murphy.
yeah.
And I heard about him before I saw him. And I never forget it. I was in San Francisco hanging around my old neighborhood because I had moved to Sacramento, but we came back and we were visiting friends in my old neighborhood, and everybody was trying to do the ice cream joke from Raw.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
don't have no ice cream. So
It's a
everybody's doing this
classic.
joke. Yes, classic joke. And I hadn't seen it. I hadn't seen the special or anything, but everybody was doing the ice cream joke all weekend long. And so I go back to Sacramento and I'm maybe 8, 9, somewhere around there. And I start doing it just based off of what I saw everybody else doing
Mhm.
the weekend before.
Right.
and I had people dying, right? And but I had no clue. And then finally somebody told me, "Oh, that's Eddie Murphy." And I was like, "Who?" I was like, "The guy from Saturday Night Live, Eddie Murphy?" And they were like,
Yeah.
"Yeah."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I actually ended up watching it, and I fell in love with comedy. So between Eddie, Robert Townsend was a big influence because the HBO specials were out at that time, and he had
Right.
a lot of specials. So Robert Townsend, Eddie Murphy, Damon Wayans,
Oh yeah.
uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
because he was in that Robert Townsend lane at the same time. And so
Right.
those three in the early beginning really pushed me. And so I end up getting tapes, cassette tapes for those out
Okay.
there of
Right.
Eddie Murphy's Raw and Comedian and a couple other folks. And I would just listen to them going to sleep. And then I was the only child
Mhm.
with no true family around me. So I was just I was regurgitating what he said without the
Right.
curse words.
You had it all memorized.
Had man,
Memorized every bit of it.
memorized it to timing, right? I didn't know understand any of that. Like I had
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
clue of what I was doing. I was just mimicking.
Yeah.
And what was crazy was when I started doing comedy, people in Sacramento, where I'm from, didn't know because I actually started in the Air Force. But when I came back and kind of had a name and was on shows and doing shows, a friend of mine, my best friend, I met D Stone. I met D the first day of kindergarten, and he told me he was like, "Yeah, I saw
Wow.
it then." Yeah, he was like, "I saw it then." I was like, "What do you mean?" He said, "My kindergarten teacher used to give me the last 5 minutes on Friday to just go. And at that time, I was just doing Yogi Bear and Boo Boo impressions,
Uh-huh.
right? That's all I had
Right.
as a 5 year old.
Right.
But he remembered that, right? And when he said it, I remembered it, but like never made the connection from kindergarten to now. I would think I was in my 20s, my early 20s, actually doing stand up. And I had
Uh-huh.
never made that connection that um, from kindergarten to stand up comedy. Never.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow. Man, what do you remember? And I'm really going to dig back in your Rolodex here. Do you remember the first time you made somebody laugh with a joke that you conceived?
Ooh. Uh,
Not a
Not a
rendition
stock
of the
joke,
Mark.
not doing somebody else's
Not
stuff.
doing a line from some other show or a movie or anything. Something you
Ooh,
wrote
goodness.
that you made somebody laugh.
So yes.
Oh, let's have it.
Oh my goodness. So I used to have these cards. This is when Ebonics hit real big, right? This is the early 90s. Ebonics is out.
Yeah.
And so I had these index cards or big cards, and they had words on them spelled ebonically. So it
Right.
would be like MUNT, month,
What?
right? And so I would say, use this in a sentence. And
Right.
then the crowd would, laugh. And then I would go, yes, we're in the Air Force, in the military, we get paid on the 1st and the 15th of and then everybody would say month.
What?
And so it just kind of so I had about maybe 6 words, and like that was the first true joke that I sat down and wrote and was like,
Bro.
oh, this is gonna kill him, and here it is. And then 6 months later, I'm auditioning for Def Comedy Jam actually in San Antonio at Fort Sam Houston, and there was another comic who had words on a call.
No way. Shut up.
Yep, his name was Ron Moore. We had never seen each other. Um, he was in Dallas doing comedy. I was actually in New Mexico doing comedy. Had never seen each other. We had different words, but the
Uh,
premise was the same. The cards were pretty much the same. My cards were a little bit better because I had better handwriting.
uh,
But yeah, but the first joke that I like remember writing that people laughed at was that.
right. And I'm gonna ask the comedian question. Did you make kids laugh in school?
Yes. So in a good way and a bad way. So in a good
Okay.
way and a bad way. So I was the one that would antagonize the teacher kind of, if if they said something funny, I would go with it. But
Oh,
I always did it with humor. So it wasn't like I wasn't the bratty nasty kid. Um, I was the kid that if the teacher asked a question and nobody said anything, I was the kid going, Bueller, Bueller,
Yep, yep, yep. You
Voodoo
were filling in the spaces.
economics. Yeah.
You were filling in the spaces. I love that.
Yeah, I'm filling in spaces, right? I'm filling in spaces. Or let's say somebody came in late and they're trying to explain it to the teacher, I'm in the front row, like, doing recreating the whole conversation, in two different voices.
Different voices.
People,
Yeah.
yeah, people around me are laughing. So I was annoying and irritating, but like never, I was the class clown, but to a
Yeah.
point, it was to a point.
Well,
Yeah.
did that start early in your school time, or was that like the
Ah,
back end towards your junior, senior year, or anything like that? But that was early, huh?
so early with the kindergarten stuff, but
How do you
then,
remember this kindergarten stuff?
man, but Miss Ewell, Miss Justness, Tahoe Elementary, Sacramento, California.
Sat in the third
Um,
row next to a blonde.
Man, yep, Jennifer Langley was her name. Yep, I know her, Jennifer
Good
Langley.
Lord.
Nancy Aiken, Brian Hauser, D Stone, Matthew Wilson. Who
Holy
else was in my
crap.
class? Yeah, and I haven't seen these people probably since kindergarten, but
You got
I
the memory of a
remember,
mountain goat.
yeah,
What
I
the heck?
remember them all. I remember most of them. And so like not too much after kindergarten as far as like I was a performer. I'll say that. So I moved from comedy to being a performer. I was a dancer. So I was a really good break dancer. That's when breaking was great. So I was the break dancer and I was just a really good dancer. I could watch somebody do a dance move and then take it and make it my own. And I could outdance you doing your own dance move. I was that kid.
Wow.
And so performing was always my thing. I did lip syncs in junior high because I couldn't sing. I knew that. I
Right.
knew
Right.
that I could not sing. I didn't have a voice. I
But you
tried to
could
go
look
in.
good faking it.
Oh my goodness. Again, that was lip sync. That was lip sync
Yeah.
eras. The 80s
Yeah.
was the lip sync era,
Yeah.
right? That
Yeah.
was putting on the hits and all of those shows. Like you
Yep.
could mix it, right? So that was the thing. But I could dance.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, that was, I did seventh and eighth grade, ninth grade lip sync. Bobby Brown, I did 1 year. I did Lavert's Casanova. Goodness, I did a whole bunch of stuff, right? That was my thing, being on stage, but not doing comedy. But there was always comedy in my performance,
Yeah. Little
right? So,
inklings. Yeah.
right, yeah, I made everything humorous. And, I had the facial expressions, I had
Right.
all of that down. But not true stand up didn't come until 93, 94.
Wow. That's a
Yeah.
perfect segue to my next question.
Okay.
Tell me about your very first first stand up you did for no money, and the stand up you did for money. Um, how did it go? And
Ooh.
break it down first. Your first stand up for no money. How'd
All
that
right.
go?
So I lied my way on stage. Very first show,
Wait a second.
lied my way
Did
on
you
stage.
slide your way on stage?
Lied my way on stage, right?
Okay.
Uh, Cannon Air Force Base, there was a Captain Antoine Banks there was nothing to do at Cannon. There's nothing
Yeah.
to do at Cannon, particularly for African American community. There was
Right.
nothing, there was no
Nothing there.
club, there was no rent, there was nothing, right?
Right.
And so Captain Banks would do a talent contest on Friday night on base at the club. And then after the talent contest, he would have an after party with the DJ, right? And that was our one time a month where we had hip hop and R&B all night long, right? That was our
Mhm.
club. And so he had been doing 2 or 3 talent nights, but the after party is where everybody wanted to go.
Oh.
So we would play basketball every Saturday. Captain Banks and I would play basketball every Saturday. I'm a junkie. And after we were playing, he was like, man, one of my judges dropped out for the talent contest. Do you know anybody? And I was like, yeah, I'm a comedian. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I perform in LA. Before I joined him, I was in LA and I did this and
I
yeah.
know Sinbad personally.
No, yeah, I hadn't even dropped that yet. I hadn't even dropped that yet, right? I was just, I was like, yeah, and I this person, and I was Dan, yeah. So yeah, I could do it. I could do it. And then all I said was, do I get into the after party for free? He was like, yeah, you get to the after party. So night comes, we're doing the talent contest jumps off. He had maybe 11 acts, and this is when the base used to be open. And we had people from Clovis coming in. It was real
Yeah.
community oriented,
Yeah.
right? And again, there
You
was
signed in the
nothing.
base real easily. Yeah.
Right. And you go to the gate and just tell them, they were like, "What are you here for?" And like, "I'm here for the talent contest at the club," and they just let
Right.
you. As long as you told them
Go
why
ahead.
you were
Go
there, if
ahead.
you told them, if you're like, "Yeah, I just want to drive around, look around," they're like, "Yeah, you can't come on base." But if you were like,
Yeah.
"I'm going to a dinner at the
Yeah.
base," like, "All right,
Yeah.
come on."
Yeah. Bring me back a slice of pizza to the shack when you come back to the base, will you?
Exactly. Exactly. So he had about 11 acts. Out of the 11 acts, four had dropped, and he was the host.
Oh, okay.
And so he gets on and he's stalling and he's stretching and he goes, "Well, let's introduce the judges." So he goes through and this is Chief so and so and this is so and so. And he gets to me and he goes, "Yep, this is Aaron Campbell, Walter Campbell. He's a comedian from California. He's been on this, and this." And I'm like, "Oh, he remembered all of this stuff I lied about." And he goes, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do my judge thing, thank you,
Yeah.
thank
Yeah. Yeah.
you. Sit back down." Exactly. And I do that, and he goes, "Maybe if y'all keep clapping, we can get him on stage and
Oh
he'll do
no.
some time." Because he's stretching. He's
Yeah.
stretching.
Yeah.
And I'm like, mm-mm, mm-mm. I'm like, mm-mm. And I had um I had a little thing like kind of memorized.
All right.
And I talked about red Kool-Aid and fried chicken. That was it, right? And that's all I had. And I went on stage and did my red Kool-Aid and fried chicken joke and or jokes
Uh,
and got a couple of chuckles and sat back down, right?
yeah.
And that was it.
That was it.
That was it. So what happens now? I'm gonna transition you into my first paid gig.
Okay.
What happens? Captain Banks and his wife Ronnie, again, they were actually my ended up being.
You are a name aficionado. What
Yeah,
the
man.
heck?
Yeah, man. So they were like my first managers, but they end up going to LA for real, and they go to a taping of Comic View. And while they're at the taping, they just start asking comics, what would they charge to come out to Cannon to do a comedy show?
Mhm.
So they fly back. He was like, "Yo, Walt, we're running out of talent around Clovis." So we're going to switch gears.
Talent and Clovis.
Oh my goodness, right? Talent and flow. Right, yeah, it was. I don't know how we had five shows. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
honest
no
with you.
kidding.
And
Ugh.
he comes back. He's like, "We're gonna flip it." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "We're gonna do comedy and then do the after party." And I was like, "Okay."
All right.
And he says, "You're going to be the host." And I was like,
He
no."
just
He was
begged you.
like,
He said you could
"Nah."
be the host. Well,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, yeah." I said, "Do I still get into the after parties for free?" He was like, "That's all I
There's a
wanted."
theme, there's a thread through all this. It's
Oh,
the after party.
let's be honest, Dave. Let's be honest to all my old Air Force heads that are out there. There was nothing like an NCO club all nighter.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Right. The
absolutely.
young heads don't know, but
Yeah.
the clubs on base used to be the best, especially on
Yep.
when they had to do an all nighter.
Yep.
Man, it would jump from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning. They would serve
Mhm.
dinner, they would serve a midnight snack, and they would
Yep.
serve breakfast.
Breakfast.
It was
Yep.
the best.
Yep.
So,
Especially overseas. That was like
oh
that.
yeah,
Especially
oh
overseas.
oh,
Yeah.
and Cannon was pretty
Too
much
much overseas.
it
That's
was
true.
like
Yeah, that's a remote.
it was a remote, like it truly
It's a
was a
remote.
remote. And so they go and they come back and they say, "You're going to be the host." They brought a comedian by the name of Shane Forbes and Billy Jones out of Dallas. I was the host. And what was beautiful about it was I could go and do my jokes. And if I started to bomb, I could just go, "Okay, coming to the stage, please welcome Dave
Right.
Jackson." Like I can
Yeah.
get off and
Yeah.
regroup and come back.
Right.
And but every month we would do a comedy show every single month. First Friday, we would do a comedy show every single month. And every time they brought in comics, I'm picking their brains. What's a premise? What's this? What's that?
Yeah.
All of the things. I'm getting the phone numbers. I'm calling people, saying, "Hey, I have this joke." And Shane Forbes in the very beginning was a really strong mentor for me. And he would say, "Nah, somebody's already doing that." Or, "Hey, you're thinking about it right, but try to think about it from this, or come at it from this angle and
Mhm.
add this to it." And so I just started I started figuring out the nuances of comedy because I had already been doing it, but I was just doing other people's material,
Right.
like the eddies and all of those different things. So now I'm understanding what a callback was.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I was calling it a repeat. I'm like, no, it's called a
Repeat.
callback. Oh, okay, yeah, right. I was right. And why are they repeating their joke? Why are they bringing the joke back?
Yeah.
Not understanding that's part of the craft.
Yeah.
That's part of the craft. So
Yeah.
that was my first show, paid as a host. And then as I got better with being a host on base, I started doing Christmas parties on base.
Oh.
Those were those were my first paid, like, being out there. And again, I was only doing shows in New Mexico, but then I started branching out to Texas and everywhere else. So yeah, that was how it happened. All in 94, 95 is when everything popped off for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tell me about your, again, this is a typical ask the comedian this question. Tell me about your first bomb.
Ooh. First bomb was probably that first night with the red Kool-Aid and the chickens, to be honest with you, if I want to be honest. But I don't it was so fast, I don't remember it. I've had quite a few bombs.
Wow.
I've had some bombs on the worldwide stage. My first couple of years, I bombed, and it was so at that time they were kind of trying to segue me into the worldwide, to the nights, and so TA and I were tag teaming, and he would have like maybe 60% of the show, and I had 40. And it seemed like every time I came off stage, Jerry would be standing in the back looking at me like, that's not it.
Yeah. Hey,
TA,
throw away that card.
yep, TA, no, no. And so I bombed a couple of times, but
Uh,
I'll tell you my most epic bomb.
oh, please.
So in San Antonio, I did a couple of conferences, and Coach John Thompson from Georgetown, big Coach
Oh,
John Thompson,
wow.
had attended, and he had a liking to me, and we kept in touch.
All right.
Yep, just throughout years we had kept in touch. So I had just retired, moved to Erie, Pennsylvania, and I'm in a bad funk. In
Okay.
Erie, Pennsylvania, yeah, because Erie, I moved to Erie because they needed some diversity. If you ever been to Erie,
Yep.
yep.
You know what you're
And
getting into when you go to Erie, kiddo.
was that?
You know what
Oh,
you're
it was.
getting into.
Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah. So I'm trying to adjust to retirement, and I'm in a bad funk mentally. So Coach Thompson calls me, and he was like, "Walter, I want you to MC an event for me." And I go, "Sure, Coach. Whatever you got." I said, "What's going on?" And they were dedicating um, uh, athletic facility in his honor and his name, and they were breaking ground that day, and then that evening they were doing a big gala.
Okay.
So he says, "I want you to be the host." Cool, no problem. I got you, Coach. I'll be there. And all of the big wigs are there. Georgetown players, Sleepy Floyd, Lonzo Mourning, Dikembe Mutombo, Patrick Ewing, Allen Iverson. All of the big Georgetown cats are there.
Yeah.
Phil Knight, from Nike. David Falk, who was Michael Jordan's agent, was there. Um,
Wow.
yeah, it was Dick Gregory, right? The comedian Dick Gregory was there. These are
Yeah.
big wigs. So much so, this is funny. Chief Thompson's team called, or we were in meetings and he wasn't in the meeting, and they were like, "Hey, who are you to coach?" And I go, "Why? What do you mean?" They go, "Well, we had other MCs selected, but he wants you. So, like, are you family?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm just a comic he saw a couple years ago." And I said, "Well, who did you have?" They had,
What were they implying though? What was the implication here? It was
I'm
rigged.
not a draw. I'm not a draw. I'm not a draw. So
Oh, okay.
here's who they had, right? So here's this comedian Walter Campbell that you have to like look up in the yellow pages to try and figure out who I am.
Right.
But this is who they had. They had three hosts already selected. They had James Brown from CBS Sports, Ahmad Rashad, right, 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 exactly, exactly. And they had somebody else I can't remember. But they were all three
Uh,
like
yeah.
sports legends, right? These are
Right.
sports legends and
Yeah.
gods. And here I come in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm emceeing the whole event. It goes well. I kill. I MC Allen Iverson. Very funny. He daps me up and tells me I'm stupid, which is a great compliment.
Compliment. Yeah.
And then, so the last person I have to bring on stage is the president of Georgetown University.
Yeah.
And his name is DeGoya, but it's like DE capital GIOA something.
Mm-hmm.
And I phonetically spelled it on the card. But as I'm about to announce the name, my brain dumps. I get cotton mouth. I'm nervous because I'm looking at the card and I'm like, no, there's a G, but I spell it phonetically on the card, the joy. But I'm struggling. My mind and my mouth,
Couldn't put it together.
my eyes couldn't put it together, and I'm butchering the president of
Oh my
Georgetown
Lord.
University.
Oh my Lord.
And so I'm announcing him, and then he's supposed to announce coach. So this is the end of the night.
Right.
And I can just feel the room just go like it wasn't,
Yeah, just left.
if it was a gospel church, if it was a Baptist church, they'd have been like, bless your heart, go ahead, honey. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, they'd have just told me what the name is. But like,
Right.
no, they were silent. Nobody helped me. And I'm slicing and dicing this guy.
Wow.
I'm slicing his name, and he is the president of Georgetown
Well, did
University.
you keep trying to fix
I
it?
keep going, man, and spitball. I got the
Wow.
cotton mouth, and man, I finally just get it out. And like when I say the room, by the time I announced his name, it was like just
Oh my Lord.
bomb, just
Wow.
bomb. His kids didn't like me. Coach Thompson's kids like shunned me. This is when you know you do bad. This is when
Right.
you know you do bad. Hey, people will come up and be like, "Hey, don't worry about that. Brush it off."
Yeah.
Not like, "Oh, you
You'll
did
get him.
good."
You'll get him next week.
Yeah, it was that bad. But as I'm packing up and I'm in tears, like I'm literally in tears, as this is the last thing I say, and people don't see me anymore. Is me like I don't come back and close out the night. I don't do
No
anything.
callback.
No, nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome President of Georgetown University, blah, 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 DeJoy, the president, please welcome. This is what I'm doing, right? So that's the last thing they see of me. So I get done, I'm packing up, I'm in tears, and a gentleman walks over and goes, excuse me, are you going to be here for a minute? And I go, yeah. He says, Dick Gregory wants to meet you. And I go, yeah, sure. And I go, yeah, I'll be right here. Yeah, I'll be right here. Like, and I put my stuff away and I turn around and it is Dick Gregory. And he gives me a big hug. He was like, don't worry about it. You had him laughing the entire night.
Yeah.
Man, I thought you were really funny. Good job on you. Man,
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And I took a photo with Dick Gregory and that made my night.
Wow.
But I bombed. I bombed.
That's terrifying to even think about.
Oh my God. I drove 4 hours in silence back home, 6 hours to Erie, from DC to Erie, in silence. I was so shook.
Were there any after you got done with that introduction and you walked off stage, was there any other interactions? Did you just like find a corner and pack your stuff and try to leave?
I found a corner, right? And then as we were leaving, people were coming up to me saying, hey, don't worry about it, that type of stuff. And then here's the other thing. So I meet Dick Gregory, and then the following morning, or I was invited to play ball with some of the Georgetown players. And I ain't gonna say I played against Allen Iverson. I was in front of him while he passed me because I wasn't playing. I can hoop. Now I'm a baller. I can play some ball.
Yeah.
I'm a hooper.
Yeah.
Nah, like this dude, he had been retired. He wasn't playing anymore, but he was still better than I could ever be.
Yeah.
Still fast. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, you want to run with
more
us?
about the game that you've ever encapsulated in your entire life.
Yeah. And they were like, Walt, you want to run? Nah, I'm gonna stay right on over here. Y'all go ahead. You need somebody to rebound. You need a ref. You need timeouts and tie some shoes up. Oh, is water on the floor? Let me grab a
Yeah, yeah,
towel.
yeah.
Yeah, it
I
was.
dab your forehead for you. Yeah.
Yeah, but that night, the worst, the absolute worst.
Wow. When did you realize? This is going back kind of back to your formative. When did you realize that stand up was your calling? At what point? Did you actually go, I think this is it?
Where I really put some like teeth into it and was like, this is me. Um, so from Canon, I went to Seymour Johnson,
Huh?
and that's where I got to see that I was just as talented as the cats that were around, right? So for a long time, so I was 3 years at Canon, and so I
Mhm.
thought I was local funny, right? I was the
Right,
local funny
right,
guy, right? I
right.
was the funniest in Canon. I was the funniest in Clovis, which
Yeah, Clovis.
wasn't
Yep.
hard,
You're he
right?
Walt plays well in Clovis.
Yeah, I'm killing. And so got stationed at Seymour Johnson and got out there on the Chitlin circuit, if you will, for
Huh?
comedy, and was holding my own, right? With cats that had been in the game and this was their full time.
Right,
And so that's where I was like, okay, yeah, I can hang with the big dogs. You know, I would do shows and still didn't have a manager and didn't know the game well. But
right.
when somebody says, when you're supposed to do 3 dates with somebody, and then on the second night they go, you know what? Don't worry about coming back. And it's not because you did bad, it was because you did too well.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they'll kick you off a tour. Right there. Yeah. And hey, don't worry about it. You know, here's your money for the week. Here's the money
Right,
for all 3 shows. But my boy is coming up from such and such. He's going to finish it
right,
out.
right,
Oh, okay.
right.
Got it. Makes sense. And I didn't know what was going on. So somebody had tell me, like, yeah, nah, you're doing all right. So that was Seymour Johnson, 99 was when I was like, yep,
Like
this
this
is
is what
me.
I want to do.
Yeah.
Wow, wow. I have never seen, and maybe I'm just not remembering. I've never seen you do impressions.
I got out of them. I do a pretty good DMX. I'm working on a bit where DMX does the Airman's Creed, which is pretty funny.
Oh, that's
Um,
gonna be hysterical.
right, because that's so the premise is that's how I had to remember it when it
Yeah,
first when the Air Force first implemented it.
yeah.
It was a poem, right? That's my whole
Yep.
real. It's a poem. It's not a creed. It's a poem, and how I had to memorize it. The best way I can memorize any rap lyric, right? I
Right.
can. My mother told me, "Why don't you make the
Turn it into a
periodic
song.
table? Make it a
Yeah.
song.
Yep.
Make the. You want to learn the periodic table? Make
That's
it a
how I
song.
got through science in ninth and tenth grade. I put everything to everything to a
Everything
melody.
to a song.
Yeah.
Everything to a song or to a rap, right? It was
Yep.
just to a rap. And so I was watching and I've been watching DMX videos for a while, but he does um, Dancer and what's the song? Is there's Dancer and Prancer and Comet and things. What's the name of that song?
Yeah.
Um, Rudolph. It's the Rudolph. Rudolph the
Yeah.
Red-Nosed Reindeer. I'm
Yeah.
bugging. I'm
Yeah.
bugging. So there's a video you could YouTube it of DMX doing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer
I'll be checking that out.
I mean in DMX, like he doing all, and he's killing it. And I was like, wow. And I do remember like trying to remember the Airman's Creed
Uh-huh.
as a rap.
Yeah.
That was the best way and the easiest way. And so now the premise is I do it as DMX. So it's pretty fun.
So do you have a few impressions in your quiver to pull out anytime you needed one, or were those like a
Ah,
standby thing, or did you actually incorporate anything?
nah. It was just, you know, at the time people were doing impressions. So that was the thing. So I do a horrible, I do a horrible Tupac one. It's really, really bad. I don't want to get you canceled. So I'm not going to do my Tupac impression. Right.
We'll
Just
sidebar that later.
yeah, yeah. Okay, it's tasteless. This is
Okay.
young, right?
Yeah.
It's what this is Tupac if he was alive today.
Okay.
Hey, y'all come get me out this box. Somebody come dig me up. Hey, see, Tupac. That's my I can do a really good. Nice. Stop, man. Like, yeah, just edit it out. Just go ahead and edit it out.
Oh, God.
I can do a pretty good Obama.
Obama.
Yes,
Yep.
we can. Uh,
That's
I
not too bad.
I am
Yeah.
an American now.
Yeah.
I've answered my nation's call. I'm faithful to
That's
a
pretty
proud head.
good. Yep, you got the Oz right. There you go.
Yeah, that's my Obama. That's about all I
Yeah,
got.
he's kind of
I
like
do
a pilot. He's kind of like a pilot trying to give the briefing to the passengers.
right.
Okay.
He's trying to come up.
Going into the words. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All
How
right.
about you? You do impressions?
I've been known to do a few now and then. I mean,
Okay.
but you gotta do bits and pieces. Like it's like Christopher Walken. Like if you walk up to Christopher Walken and you said no, already yet. Let's do Sean Connery. Sean Connery, you ask Sean Connery, hey Sean, you want to go out and do some roller skating? Yes. It's bits and pieces.
I like it. Okay, I'm with it. Okay.
Christopher
Okay.
Walken. Look at that eagle up in the sky. Whoa. Just bits and pieces. It's just little snacks.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm with that one.
Yeah. Little
Yeah.
snacks.
Yeah. But yeah,
Um,
that's all the impressions I
I
got.
did a Reagan back in the day.
Mm,
Yeah. Did a Reagan.
mm.
So your path to 2001 TIB, what year? So did you audition in 2000 or would you put your, so, okay. So give me your path.
Okay.
Well, but yeah,
Um,
when did you see your first TIB show?
um 2002.
How's
Yes,
that?
I toured in 2000. I never saw a show.
You never saw a show even prior before auditioning? Really? You never saw anything? Really? Okay. All right.
Never saw a show. Didn't want to be. I heard about it.
Yeah.
I
Wow. You
passed.
had no
passed.
inkling.
I remember being at Shepherd Air Force Base in tech school because my first job I was a 4-0 and I got washed out. But I remember 4th of July weekend '94 at Shepherd Air Force Base. Uh, there was some um, big stage performance,
Yeah.
and I remember walking past it, walking to the gate, trying to catch a Mac Trans down to the mall, and I saw the sequence jackets and I saw the singing, and I was like, eh, I'm out. I think it was the country set, so I was really like,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm cool. Let
Yeah.
me take this Mac Trans down to the mall, and I remember that, but I didn't stay and watch. I was literally walking past the field while they were
Just like
performing,
cruising by.
cruising by. Didn't even
Wow.
know it was a Thompson Blue. Couldn't tell you who it could have been, the USO. It could have been
Yeah.
anybody, but
Yeah.
it actually was Thompson Blue.
Wow.
And so I never saw a show. I heard about it only because Sinbad was affiliated at a point, and so everybody was saying, because I had become a clean comic, so everybody was liking me to Sinbad. So I heard about it, but
Yeah.
I didn't want to join Thompson Blue. I had so here's the other part. I didn't know Worldwide was the segue to Tops Blue.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I
Wow.
auditioned for a talent contest.
Yeah.
I didn't know, like, that's why I sent my tape in.
You
So
sent your tape into a. So you just sent your tape into a talent contest, not knowing the gravity of that situation.
no clue, no clue. So here's how it happened.
Okay.
I'm in
Give me
Germany.
the
I'm in
timeline.
Spain, Germany,
Okay.
and hush, boy. I'm in Spain, Germany, and my wife at the time, I had just had a baby, my first daughter,
Uh-huh.
Anaja, and we had separated, and so they moved from Germany to Denver, and it was 800 and some odd dollars for me to go from Frankfurt to Denver. It was $300 to go from San Antonio to Denver.
I see
So,
where this is going.
right.
Okay.
So someone tells me that there's this talent contest. It's in San Antonio. They pay for everything, and I pick up the phone and I call the production center because I'm less than 7 days away from the deadline for tapes.
Yeah.
So I call, and James Green picks up the phone, and we laugh about it today. And so I'm asking him, questions about the talent, and I said, "So y'all are paying for me to fly from
Yeah.
Germany to San Antonio round trip?" And they were like, "Yes." I was
Now
like,
tell me. Now tell me that again.
right, right. And we DSN, so I got to say something. Now he has to wait,
Yep.
and then right. And I said, "So not a military plane. Y'all are flying?" He was like, "Yep, we're flying you commercial." I was like, "I'm in Germany, You know, like I don't have to pay nothing. He was like, you don't have to pay anything. I said, okay, cool. I said, can I take leave? That's, hey, look, man, I'm broke. I'm a staff sergeant. No, I'm
Yep.
broke.
Yep. Yep.
So um, I said, can I take leave, you know, while I'm there or after I'm done? He was like, that's between you and your supervisor. Talked to my supervisor. My supervisor was like, look, if I get, and James goes, well, you have to get accepted. It's like you're not just automatically. I was like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I hang up with him. My boss says, if you get accepted, you can take leave en route. I go home, I make a tape, I make a VHS, I FedEx it over, super FedEx it over. It gets there, I get the call that I go or that I'm accepted. I get there and I have no clue of what's going on.
Right.
No clue. Go to the ceremony.
Yeah.
That also, my first time I saw Tops and Blue was Tops and Blue 2000 at my Worldwide. You know how they come
The opening
out the
ceremonies.
opening
Yeah.
ceremonies. That was it.
Yeah.
And even then, I was like, I don't see myself.
Yeah. Where do I fit in? Yeah.
And I didn't understand that all of these people in the ceremony or sitting with me, all of the contestants were trying to get on stage.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just thought they were bringing me. Oh, here's some performers, you know, that the Air Force has. And they
Really? You were that clueless about the whole scenario. Wow.
clueless,
Wow.
clueless. So I
Wow.
get there and I go, I had Percy, Donna, and Lorna as my team leads. And I say, when was the last time there was a comic? And this is '01.
Mm.
And I go, Khalil, 98 or wherever. And I was
Yeah.
like, I said, so when was the last comedian that competed? And they're like, oh, we've had a couple of comedians competed, but they just weren't any good. So
Yeah.
then I go, well, I definitely ain't getting on, right? I'm not, because again, I didn't see myself. And it was like fame camp. That's it was fame camp for me.
I have never heard that. That's beautiful.
If you watch Fame, I'm a 80s kid, man. I
Yeah.
watch Fame, Leroy, all of
Yeah.
that. So everybody's running around dancing and jumping through, you know, headphones on, shed and vocalists are in mirrors and doing the
Yeah.
gestures, and drummers are fake drumming on chairs, and
Yeah.
everybody's, you know, doing their thing. And
Yeah.
I'm sitting down like, and so Percy comes up, he goes, okay, man, you know, you got to rehearse, man. You got to act like you're doing something. And I was like, it stand up don't work. Like I can't just,
Yeah. Just go. Yeah. I'm instantly funny.
yeah. Um, I didn't know anything about the process. You know, they were like, you know, does everybody have a song? I was like, a song for what? To come out to? Like, oh yeah, I got my song. I'm coming out to Puff Daddy. And they're like, no, you gotta go into the instrumental or to the vocalist audition. Well, I'm not a vocalist. Why am I going in there? Well, everybody has to go through, you know, instrumental audition and a vocal audition and a specialty audition, all of these.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, you know, what's all of this for?
Yeah.
And they're like, you know, to win the contest. And if you win the contest, then you get to be selected for Tops and Blue. I was like, okay. So they tell me pick a song. Um, Ed Jones was in vocals,
Uh-huh.
the worst audition ever. Um, so
What?
Amber Grimes and another
Uh-huh.
young lady, I walk in and they go, hey, first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna see if you can sing harmony. And I have no clue what harmony is. I eat
Uh-huh.
harmony grits, but that's about as
Yeah.
far as
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
go. And he said they're going to sing Amazing Grace and just jump in and find your part. So they start singing Amazing Grace. And
Mhm.
Dave, I just sat there and looked at him. I was like, wow, that is beautiful. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
that was amazing.
So
And
why we start doing this?
Ed says, hey, you were supposed to like jump in and find your part. And I just kind of look at him with this link and he goes, just right. Right. And then the piano, like the notes,
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
guess the range and all that. So
Yeah.
somebody's on the keyboard. It probably was Ed, and he
Yeah.
hits a note, ding. And he
Yeah.
goes, okay, go ahead and sing it. And I go, ding. All right, cool. And I'm gonna go up. And he goes, ding. And I'm on the same note they hit the first one, ding. Like it's the worst. And all Ed is doing is this.
Yeah. Yeah. With his big Sharpie.
So I walk out of there and I'm like, well, I ain't I got no points. I got no points in the vocal audition.
Right.
Lorna's like, okay, now you got to go into the instrumental audition. Do you play anything? I said, I played the recorder in the third grade. I played a
Yeah.
violin in the sixth grade.
Oh,
So they ran
breaking news,
around.
folks.
They ran around trying to find a violin.
No way.
I was like,
Wow.
I don't. I said I can play Mary Had a Little Lamb. They're like, play that, play that.
That's even a maybe. Yeah.
So they couldn't find a violin, and me jokingly said, "Oh, let me play the triangle." And I'm saying this jokingly, and Lorna goes, "Yes, grab it."
Grab it. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm in
Yeah.
my audition, right? And I played the triangle. It was
Yeah.
the worst. The only thing I probably killed on was the dance audition and in my audition on stage. But other than that, like it wasn't the worst week for me,
Uh-huh.
but I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I just didn't get it.
What did you submit in your tape? What was the basis of your stand up on your tape? What did you send in?
It was a stand-up show that I had done on a military
Oh,
installation.
okay.
Yep, it was stand-up.
Oh, oh, so it wasn't like something you did in front of your refrigerator.
No, it was straight. Yeah, yeah. Hey, no,
Hey.
it was a show that I had taped because I was doing comedy
Uh-huh.
overseas, and I I grabbed the best tape I had and sent that off, and
That's actually
during
pretty smart. That's
during
freaking smart.
thank you, during the at the banquet where you stand in line to talk to chief, and at the end of the banquet,
Uh-huh.
at the beginning of the tape I sent in, I dance, right? Like I
Uh-huh.
come, that was part of my set, my routine
Uh-huh.
was I did these dances, and the first thing he said was, "Why didn't you dance?" And I was like, "Well, they told me I couldn't because Barry and them didn't want to learn the song."
What?
Yeah, well, because it was like a hip hop medley, and
Uh-huh.
like because I didn't know what was going on, once I got into, oh, this is what it's about,
Yeah.
my whole game changed. Like I wanted to win. I still didn't want to tour. I didn't want to
Right.
beat Tops and Blue. I just wanted to win. I just wanted to win because I was the only comic. That was my
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm the only comic here. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm trying to win.
Yeah.
And I changed what I wore. I changed my set. Um, I did a parody, and Daryl McKeechin um, came through at the clutch. I did a parody of Kirk Franklin, The Reason Why I Sing. I changed my whole set because I was like, okay, I got to get the crowd right. I gotta, in order to win, I really got to get them. And what I had wasn't for that crowd,
Yeah.
right? Family friendly,
Yeah. Yeah.
that type of crowd. And we had the last night, and the last night is normally the toughest
Oh,
uh,
you pulled the third night?
for third night,
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
right? We
Wow.
pulled third night, which is the toughest. And the reason why is the renter crowd, the basic trainees, came on Thursday and Friday.
Right.
Yeah, Thursday and Friday, but not Saturday, something like that,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
right?
With some
And
odd days,
so
they can only do it. Yeah.
it was, real sparse crowd, and I was just ready for all of that. And I changed everything. I changed what I wore. I had a suit and tie on. I changed everything. Still didn't win.
Uh,
Still didn't think I was gonna be selected, right? And I was like, okay, no problem. I went to go see my daughter for a week, and I went home. My mission
done.
accomplished.
Accomplished.
I got a cool headshot. Hold on. Matter of fact, I got a cool headshot.
Oh, all right.
Uh, yeah. That was my headshot from Worldwide that I grabbed. Miss Glow sent it to me just recently. Yeah,
Wow.
that's how I got there.
So if I was to take, okay, let's play this game. Dancer, vocalist, magician, or comedian? Best to worst.
Comedy, dancer, um, vocalist, magician.
Yeah. All right.
Magician was the worst.
Okay, so let's talk about that. I'm dying to talk about this part. So you go in as an MC or you go in as a comedian, and then you get hired and told you're gonna be doing magic.
Nope,
How did that fall on
nope.
your head?
That's not how it went.
Oh, how'd it go?
So I thought I arrived
Uh-huh.
to production center, thought I was a comedian.
Uh-huh.
They told me I'm not a comedian. I made the tour as a vocalist.
Oh, yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
I was a vocalist. That's what they told me. That's what they had on my name tag. I was a vocalist. And they said, hey, what probably will happen is at some point in time during staging, Chief will call you upstairs as he's writing the show and implement the comedy. But you need to learn all the songs. Cool, no problem. I'm not a vocalist, but I know my
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
I'll learn my part.
Yeah.
A couple months go by. I'm getting frustrated because I'm not getting this call that Khalil, Rich,
Yeah.
Lorna had told me how it was going to happen. Even Ed, right? This is how it's going to happen. Okay. Not getting a phone call, not getting anything. We're on stage doing our opening number, and Chief stops the show and he goes, "You guys are this. You need energy. Walt has just levitated a woman out in thin air." I'm like, "Hold up, Walt? Who? Is it another Walt? Because I don't know what you're
Yeah.
talking about." And that's when he
Oh,
told me
so he was looking in the future of what the show was going to be. Oh,
he
wow.
already had it. He already knew everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So he pulls me out of the opening number, and I think it's because I can't sing.
Uh-huh.
I think I'm messing. It's our like first or second time on stage. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's because I don't know, I can't sing or know my parts or I'm not singing well.
Yeah.
And he stops and he was like, Walter just comes out and does this phenomenal magic trick where he levitates this woman. He levitates one of you guys out of the air. And I'm like, what? 2 days later, Mike Mode, who's a friend of Khalil, who also worked with David Copperfield and a lot of other magicians, he comes in. They pull me out of vocals and say, hey, he's the magician and he's going to work with you for the next 4 days. So I learned 5 illusions in those days, and we did them in front of Chief, and he picked the best 3 to 4, and then that's what went to the show.
Wow.
And Mike told me, Mike said, you know what, man, you screwed. And I
Which
said,
Mike?
Mike
Mike.
Mode, the magician that
Okay.
they brought
Yeah,
in,
yeah,
he was like,
yeah.
man, I'm gonna be honest with you, you're screwed. And I said, why? He said, a magician works on one trick for at least 30 days straight. That's all
Right,
they do is
right.
30. He was like, I got 4 to 5 days to teach you 5 illusions. But we made it work, right? And then I was a magician. We implemented in the show,
Uh-huh.
and no comedy, no stand-up the
How,
whole tour.
what was it like learning magic?
It's
It's
tough.
not like it's proprietary, but still,
It's tough. It's
there's
tough
a
because
code.
you have to learn every possible scenario of how something can go, right? How
Give me
because
an example.
um if you just have to find alternative ways. Like if your string breaks during while you're playing, you have to know how to keep playing,
Yeah, yeah.
move the
Adapt.
string out the way,
Yep.
right? Maybe reach like you have to know all of those. Oh, nope, I'm just gonna have to get it later. I can still jam without that one, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
Yeah.
right, you have to know all of the little nuances. If
Interesting.
this goes out, if that happens, if the and so yeah, I had some issues with some magic tricks. Chief told me, he said, so the very first one, I have this ball and I bounce this cape. I open this ball up, and there's a cape that folds down, and I shimmy, 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 remove it, and there's a lady floating in air, right? So Chief
Huh?
says, Chief says, hey Walt, you need to put weights on the cape, and I'm like, well, and in my mind, I'm thinking we're doing indoor shows. Why am I putting weights on the? Okay, and I never do it.
Oh,
We get to Edwards outdoor show, wind,
wind.
pop the cape, and the cape is blowing like this,
Yeah.
and you can just see the girl coming up out of the apparatus. Like kids are pointing, like, "Oh, look!" And the cape is just blowing in the wind. And so we do the trick, and I get down, and of course, guess who's at this show?
Of course. Yeah.
Chief.
Yeah.
And I turn around, and Chief is face to face. And when I say that man cussed me out, like Barney Rubble, like it sounded like Barney Rubble to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
He cussed me smooth out. And I deserved it. I deserved every bit of it. But I put weights on it right after that.
So, so what were the three tricks you got? You had to do the ball trick, the levitation. What was the other one?
Oh, so levitation was the ball trick was to going into levitation.
Oh, okay,
So
that's right.
levitation, sub trunk, where um, Natalia, she handcuffed me and puts me in a box, and then we swap places. We do a 1, 2, 3, and then now we do on 3. I'm on the box and she's in the box handcuffed.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
we swap places.
Yeah.
And then Miss May, where I cut Katie. What's Katie's? I cut Katie in 3 pieces, move her around, put her back together, and her head's down by her feet, and her feet are at
Yeah,
the
yeah,
top, and then
yeah,
we put her back together.
yeah.
Yeah, and all of those at some point in time, I had disastrous moments.
Well, hold that thought. How did you? So, like the musicians, like during our off time around the bus, we can rehearse, we can practice and stuff like that. You know, just rehash to. What did you do? What did you do for getting your magic chops up in between shows? Was there anything you could do?
Nope, because everything was packed on the truck.
So there was.
Everything is packed on the
My
truck.
Lord, Walt.
So
Wow.
so I try to incorporate comedy
Uh-huh.
into the magic, right? Being like kind of slapstick,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
physical, my
yeah. A
animation. And
little more
Chief was like,
physical.
oh yeah, Chief saw the video and I got a call. Stop trying to be funny during the magic. You're regal. He wanted me to be majestic and regal
Right, right.
and yeah, and then finally he just gave up and was like, go ahead.
You,
Just do you. Like just you don't cause me any trouble. Just go ahead, do you.
yeah, yeah. You're fine. Just go with it.
Yeah, he was like,
Did, did you watch the video of that one where the stuff was blowing around and they could see the apparatus? Did you actually see that video after
oh
that? Was it
yeah, yeah,
just as
yeah.
shockingly obvious as you
Yes.
thought? Wow.
Yes. She's just coming up out of this apparatus. Like you could just there's so we had this it was the prop was supposed to be a fireplace.
Huh?
And inside the top of the fireplace is where the apparatus is. And so I walk up these stairs and basically now I'm standing on top of the fireplace, right? And then I drop this cape
Huh?
and then
Yeah, yeah,
pow.
yeah.
And now she's in midair. But yeah, you can see her just
I would love to see this video. I would
oh
love.
no, nope. And Miss Glow, don't please,
Yeah,
don't you
yeah.
try. And
Everybody,
Godfrey, don't you try to
everybody
find this
has their
video.
price. Wow.
Nope.
Tell me about the snap. Other than that one, tell me about the snafus you had in your magic tricks.
So Natalia Maldonado was stationed at Bill, was an outdoor show. For whatever reason, it was heavy dew, moisture,
Huh?
and the sub trunk where we swap places. So I get in the trunk, she handcuffs me, she puts me in a bag, she pushes me in a box, she puts the box lid on top, and then she puts swords through the box.
Mm-hmm.
She gets on top of the box.
Mm-hmm.
She has a curtain. She goes 1, 2, 3, and then all of a sudden it's me, right? And she's in the box and
Yeah.
all that. But there's dew. For whatever reason, it's moisture. And I'm
There's
in dance
moisture
shoes.
everywhere.
I'm in dance shoes.
Oh, okay. Now the plot thickens.
So how I get out, I'm I I get out and I'm about to position myself so we can make the change, and I slip. And now my behind is in the trap door, if you will,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting there with my legs up and my butt sitting and I can't hardly get up or get out. And she's like, "Come on, 1, 2," and I'm looking up at her like this, and I'm like, "No, no, we're not doing this." And I'm trying to like wiggle out this box. And I finally get out the box and she goes, "Are you ready?" And I go, "Yeah." And she goes, 1, 2. And this is me. I come up like this. I was slow. It's the worst. It's absolute worst.
Wow.
So, but she's doing this for like
Yeah.
minutes. All right, ready, 1, 2, 3.
Just going. Anytime,
And
man. Wow.
I'm like, I'm done. I'm over this. I'm over it. No. And Miss made the wheels because we would take it off. We would take the wheels out of it every single night. It's stripped.
Oh.
So we're rolling. We're doing the illusion. And there's a way we have to turn the boxes. And Katie's in the box, and as we're turning it, one of the wheels falls off, and the whole thing just tips over. The door pops open. You can see
No.
Katie, like you could just kind of like see Katie scrunching and doing her thing in the box, and yeah, it was just all bad. It was absolutely horrible.
I can't even imagine. When you were training, I know I keep harping on this, Matt. This I know I keep harping. This stuff just
Are you good?
fascinates the hell out of me. When you were training, doing your magic training, were you like, is that really how it's done? We doing a lot of that? Was there a lot of that
Oh
kind of
yeah,
banter going on?
yeah. For me, I was like, it can't be that simple. And they're like, yes,
Right.
they're like, yeah, it's really just that simple. I was like,
Yeah.
no, it's got to be like, nah,
What were
bro.
the, what were the two that got cut that didn't get used?
There was a sleight of hand trick that I couldn't do because I'm a basketball player, and
Uh,
I have he said I have too good of reaction time. I'm
what does that mean?
so I was a I was I was a really good defensive player, so my reaction, like, if you drop something, I
Oh,
can,
okay. I got
right.
you.
I'm
You have an
that
instinct. You have a quick instinct. I
I have a
got you.
quick
Right.
instinct, right? And so there was a sleight of hand trick that a couple of sleight of hand tricks that I just couldn't do, dexterity and my reaction time. So it was like, like he wanted me to do some sleight of hand stuff to walk around while people were coming in,
Mhm.
getting ready for the show type of stuff, and go around and do card tricks and stuff like that. And I wasn't good at it at
Did they
all.
give you an option or did they give Tom an option of what tricks, or did Tom want certain tricks, or do they like, this is what we can teach him? Which
What are
ones
we
do you
talking
want?
about, Dave? we talking about Chief? Chief probably knew already. I want this in it. No, he needs to do this, this, and this, and
Okay.
this.
So was
Yeah,
it like a table of things that they thought you might be able to do? Tom already knew this is the one, this is the one, this is okay. All right.
yeah. And then
I
we
guess
would
that,
go and do it. We would do it in front of him. And it's the worst part is when you're a cast member, they never talk directly to you.
right. Everything's
Right,
through this person, through Ed or through, yeah.
right, right,
Yeah.
right. And so they're
Yeah.
watching it and they're going, yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, all right, good.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And you
Correct.
just stand there like, waiting, you just stand there and wait. And then they'll either say, all right, you can go back to vocals, or, do it again, or yeah,
Yeah.
you never know. And then they say, yep, this is in the show. And then when they gave us the order of the show, all right, we're going to do this trick. And Natalia's going to pop out the box and she's going to do Let's Get Loud. So the sub trunk was the intro into her doing Let's Get Loud. Miss Made was kind of like our retro set, going into a kind of the 50s and the 60s kind of retro step, that type of
Uh,
thing. And so, yeah, I mean, they were all segues. He's
yeah.
all
Oh,
about
okay.
transitions. He's all
Yeah.
about transitions. So they were always, great segues and transitions, but yeah, no comedy, like none, no stand up. Nope. I had
Did
the
you?
opportunity. The power went off at Edwards.
Oh, little open mic deal, huh?
Yeah, but it was, again, not the greatest situation. I wasn't the first option. First option was a saxophone player, John Capuccio,
Yeah.
and he played like charge and dun, 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 like, because it was one of the only instruments that wasn't
Yeah, you didn't
electric,
have to amplify it. You have to bring it through a PA or anything. Yeah.
right?
Wow. Yeah.
So he did that the first time. It was cool. Power comes back on. We jump right back into the
Yeah.
groove, right back into the set.
Yeah.
Power jumps off again, cuts off again, and he said dun, 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 and they went charge. Like the crowd just goes charge.
Hey, going back to Worldwide, did you have to interview with Tom? Did you interview with Chief? How'd that go?
Absolutely.
I never interviewed with Chief. I've never interviewed with Tom.
Really, it's because, again, I didn't know anything, so I don't know
Right.
who this. He's Oz.
Yeah.
I heard about him all
Yeah.
week.
He's
Never
behind the door.
I never saw him. I didn't know what he looked like. Everybody,
Right.
Chief, Mr. Edwards. I'm like, who is this dude? Like, I don't
Right.
know this guy. And again, everybody on my team is trying to make tops in blue. I was there to go see my kid. Like
Yeah, yeah,
that was it.
yeah.
And so, I finally meet him during the interview, and very regal, very,
Yeah.
very chief, right? And then he's with the 2000 cast because there's members in there. And
Yep.
So I'm a great interviewee. I
Yep.
I can do. I was killing Air Force boards, and I knew all of that. So I just went in with that type of mentality.
Well,
And
you're great with impromptu. You can. Yeah,
yeah,
that's you. That's all
look,
you.
I can't remember her name. Um, she was on 2000 cast, and she asked me, "Hey, you're going to be around people, for 6, 7 months, and we get on each other's nerves sometimes, and sometimes people do it on purpose. How would you handle?" And I already said that I was a big Michael Jordan fan, and
Mhm.
so she says, "How would you handle if one of your castmates, just kind of trying to get under your skin, just kept saying that Michael Jordan was not the greatest basketball player in
Right.
the world, like, and just was being that person?" And like I gave an Air Force interview answer, like I wasn't playing around. I was like, well, let's just be honest and take a look at the facts. Michael Jordan is 6-0 in the NBA Finals. He's won every single award, Defensive Player of the Year, the only award that
You
he
went
has
straight
won.
stat mode.
I just went in. I went into it like I just went in and like we were just having a true
Yeah.
conversation. And I was like,
Yeah.
and the only award he hasn't won was most improved player or six man of the year award. So if anybody were to come at me and say that Michael Jordan wasn't the best basketball player, I would automatically immediately know that they're trying to just get under my skin. And I just wouldn't. Like I
Wow.
didn't break. I didn't break. And
Wow.
Chief was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, that's how
Wow.
that went.
Do you remember anything he asked you?
Can I turn it off?
Oh, really?
Can I
Wow.
turn it off? Yep.
What was your answer? Do you remember your answer?
I said I absolutely can. Right. And again, I was able to show that because in that interview, I wasn't on.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't trying to be,
Yeah. Yeah.
hey, like me,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
like I went in Air Force interviews, hands on the,
That's actually a really good plan. That's actually really pretty smart. Well,
but that's all I knew. Like,
like you're
yeah,
going up for promotion board.
that's how I looked at it. That's exactly
Wow,
how I
that's
took
actually
it.
pretty. That's not that we can use that again, but that's really good advice.
Yeah, like
That's solid.
I sat at attention, hands on lap, and yep, answered
Yep.
the questions. And again, they were trying to get me to like come out. And
Mhm.
all he kept saying was, "Do you know?" The one thing I remember, he said, Do you know how to turn it off? And can you turn it off?" And I was like, "Absolutely." I said, "I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to be this, all the time." And then you have to
Right.
be, yeah. And I'm an only child, so there were a lot of times where I didn't know how to turn it off. I couldn't
Yeah.
turn it off. So,
Yeah. Because a lot of times it becomes a defense mechanism, right?
absolutely is,
Yep. Yep.
absolutely is.
Wow. So I want to talk about. I've had some. Who did I have in 2001? Was it Katie? I had on
Oh
here.
yeah,
Yeah.
Shane, you've had Ryan.
Ryan. Ryan. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about your memories of the. Obviously, 9/11 happened during your tour. Tell me about your memories of that.
Wow. Oh. For me, it was hard. My whole tour was hard because I was upset and mad and angry and resentful because everybody on tour was doing what they auditioned for, to
Mm.
include the drivers, right? Everybody was doing what they are. Now, there were additional jobs that everybody had. Like Monty was a driver, Jeremy Montgomery, Monty, he was a driver, but he got into the show dancing, right?
Oh
He
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
because he was a good country dancer.
Yep.
And so everybody auditioned and was doing what they auditioned
Wow, you carried that with you.
and then here I am, not I'm away from my kid, I'm away from my job, and I'm not doing my craft like everybody else is doing. Like everybody was doing their craft except for me. So I was reclusive. They would tell you I'm not in a whole lot of photos. I put my headphones on the bus, uh, and I had a portable
You
DVD
carried a little
player.
bit of anger with you, huh?
Yeah, yeah, and I won't say anger, but like it was just, I did my job, I
Yeah,
performed, I love performing,
yep.
like on the inside, yeah, I wasn't getting better at comedy because I wasn't writing. I wasn't
Yeah.
writing and I wasn't performing. So for a whole year, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah. Makes sense.
It was tough, right? So
Yeah.
that portion of the tour was really, really tough. 9/11 happens. Of course, we all lock in, and we had about a month and a half, 2 months staging part two at Simbach
Was
because
it
they
really
didn't.
that long? Were you guys really, really, that was that long, huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, we were there for about a month and a half at Simbach, and we rehearsed 8 hours a day.
Wow.
We rehearsed 8 hours a day. Yep, at the Simbach Club. Didn't know what we were going to do, so of course we connected on that. And then there were, people we couldn't send people home that needed to be sent home because
Mhm.
of everything that was also going on.
Right.
And kind of we got back on the road. We started rocking and rolling again. And then chief and leadership were like, "Yep, some people got to go home." And we had about 15 shows left. And we were going to Northern Tier, rolling on to North Dakota, the base in North Dakota.
Mhm.
And we had one of those, everybody go to your room until you get a phone call. We got the phone call. There was a meeting. We got to the meeting, and some people weren't there.
Wow.
And they canceled all of our tours or the rest of our shows, and we drove from Northern Tier all the way back to San Antonio. And we thought it was a wrap. Like we thought it was totally
Oh,
over.
yeah. I would have thought it'd been over.
We
Yeah.
pulled up to the production center, and there was nobody from Tops and Blue. There was no Chief. There was no Jerry. There was no Carol Sudi. There was
Yeah.
no Matt with my PMA
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
PME. I wanted my money. Like
Yeah.
there was no Derek Sinclair. There was
Wow.
nobody, and it was just services leadership. Nobody from AFE. Nobody from Tops and Blue. The only one was Globe, but she was a team member,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
So she
Yeah.
sat and the commander told us, "Thank you guys for what you guys did. We know you guys have 10 more shows left, but this is a wrap. Too much stuff is going on." Like that's when the people who left tour had, kind of started the investigations and all of the
Mhm.
allegations and
Yeah.
everything that was going on. And they were like, "Yeah, thank you guys for playing. You guys are going back home." And we sat there and cried like babies. Um,
Wow. I've
and
never heard this version of this.
oh
Wow.
yeah, 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 yeah. Like, are we gonna get rings? And they were like, uh, yeah, we'll get you guys. And they're like, because again, these are people. They're not blue. They're like
Yeah.
rings. Yeah, yeah. Y'all want some rings? We'll get you some
Yeah.
rings.
But yeah.
Yeah, we'll get you some rings.
We'll run by the shop ed on the.
Yeah, yeah. But they're like, yeah, we're gonna give you guys a week to put all of this stuff up, and after that, we sending y'all back home. And we cried. Greg Jordan, I'll never forget it. Greg Jordan, my man, Greg Jordan,
Mhm.
love
That's
this
just
dude.
amazing guitar player.
Oh my goodness. Hey, like he got emotional. And now, for those that know Greg is a man's man. Like
Mhm.
hey, like just he got emotional, and he was like, "Nah, if we don't finish this tour, we not getting rings because we didn't finish the tour." Like he stood up and was like, "Nah, we." And so we went back and forth, and um, we had 5 female vocalists, 3 band members. Most of our male vocalists were there, and we pleaded our case, and they said, "If y'all think you can go back out and finish the tour, then we'll allow it." And they allowed us to go back out.
I mean, what was there? Was it just they were? What was the reason they didn't want you to go back out? Were they just worried about you guys? Did they think the logistics would be too tough? Was it too dangerous for you guys? What was
All
the
of that, all of
all
that,
that?
all of that, right?
They just
So
wanted to wipe it clean and say, "We just to play it safe. Let's just pack our stuff and go home."
they
Wow,
had too many, they
that would have
had
been
too many people.
heartbreaking.
Yeah, they had too many people that had been sent home, um, talking, right, if you
Yeah, yeah,
will, right, talking, and
yeah, yeah.
then that's where it went.
So you had
Um,
that on top of the 9/11.
top of 9/11. And I don't know
Wow.
if anybody's ever, that's the coldest thing to do is get sent home. Like how we send people home. I'm not going to discuss it on this podcast because this is going to be open to the public.
Listen, no, listen. Ed Jones walked me to the airport.
Oh, so I had, they told me, "Hey, go in this room, go in this cast member's room, put his personal stuff to one side, put his TIB stuff on the other side.
Right.
And so I did all of that. I packed his TIB stuff in his TIB duffel bag. And I said, hey, what you want me to do with his personal stuff? And I was handed a gray hefty bag. And and we escorted this person to the airport. And he got out the Tahoe and walked into the airport with a gray hefty
bag.
I was like, oh, we cold.
Well, in '93, young lady went home without shoes on.
What?
From England
on
to
the plane?
Took her to the MAC terminal, no shoes. She didn't have any. She didn't have any civilian shoes. She had nothing.
She was on days off. She was just in dance shoes.
I guess that's what she was doing. She had no shoes.
Bless her heart. You know what? Offline. Let me know. I want to send her some shoes. I don't know who it is, but
send her a bunch of shoes.
I'm gonna send us. Yeah, that's not.
Yeah.
Oh,
it happens.
So Ed Jones took you to the airport?
Yeah. So, and you probably heard the story. '97, a tour I should not have been on. Tom asked me to do the tour director thing, and I left Delaware. My wife and I were building the house. It was our first house. I left her with that because it was the 50th anniversary of the Air Force tour, and Tom asked me to go, and I was like, 50th anniversary of the Air Force tour? Yeah, that just sounds like, but
right.
It was wrong. I should have never went. So, anyways, we get on tour. So we were at Patrick Air Force Base, Florida, and I called my wife, and I said, "What's the latest?" Because the contractors weren't getting paid. There was all kinds of liens and stuff going on, and she was in tears, and I knew right then. I said, I should never went. Anyways, I told Tom. I said, Tom, I got to go home. I got some stuff going on with my house, and he was wonderful. He said, Dave, I'll get you home. Give me a call in 24 hours, 40 hours. Let me know if you can come back. I'll bring you right back in, which is awesome. But so he said, you know the drill. Go to your room, separate your stuff, and that'll take you to the airport. So
yeah. But that's different. At least you went on.
Yeah, I wasn't fired. I wasn't like mysteriously just bag over my head sent to the airport or anything like that. Yeah.
I liken it like somebody coming out of prison. Like you had a hefty bag and was
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? On American Airlines with a hefty bag.
Yeah. You drop them off at the terminal. Good luck.
Right. All he needed was a white T-shirt and
Yeah. Crocs. Some Crocs.
Some slippers.
Slippers. Yeah. What? Oh, hang on. I want to talk about the 2013 tour. That looked like a real banger thing to me. That looked awesome. Tell me about that tour. Give me the short and skinny on that tour, man.
So much fun, so much talent. And for me, it was really kind of honoring the young TIB talent. We have our staples, your Faith Sullivans, your Tracy Arrington Wrights, you have, Ms. Doris, you have your staples, your Mark Fletchers and those guys that have been killing it. And to me, it was really great to see some of the young cats get that love, right? And so, Lane was on tour, which he was probably probably the most celebrated artist at the time. But Jay Rome was on, Ryan Daniel was on, Angie was on,
all the ringers,
right. Yep. But then you had like Monique Jameson.
I forgot about Monique.
She went head to head with Lane as LaBouche. And gave it to him like night after night, was right there with him, was like, nah, you Lane McCray, but I'm Mo. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, don't right. Max was on drums, Godfrey. Max was there. And so, like I said, it just really gave, it showcased a lot of the younger.
Not the legacy stuff. Yeah.
Right. The younger cats that can go, you know what I'm saying, that can just flat out go. Angie can go, and it was just everybody coming together, and that was the that was the thing. No egos, it was about work. We worked, we had fun, we drank rippets, and we did our thing.
How many shows did you guys do?
I want to say about 8, 9, maybe 8.
They were all in the desert?
All in the desert. Well, no, all overseas. We had
Yeah.
like a couple pre-shows like Turkey. I don't know if you want to call that the desert. I want to say yeah, but they were majority overseas. Majority were overseas.
How long were you guys? That's production center. How long were you guys in staging for that?
So I came in late. They were there maybe a week and a half to 2 weeks before I got there. And then I came 4 or 5 days before we hit the road. So I was just being what I needed to do was see the show, and then I was segue man, right? I my stand up or
Right.
portion of it was weaving in,
Yeah.
going in
Set.
between sets. So I
Between
just
set.
needed to see the show, write that, get his blessing and approval, and then that was my
I need to see it. I don't think I've seen a video of the show. I need to get a video of the show. I am
no.
just
This out there. This actually out there. Yeah.
is it on YouTube?
Yes, it's out on
Oh, I
YouTube
gotta
now.
look at that. I gotta look at
It's
that. I
out
don't
on
think I've ever
YouTube
seen it,
now.
if I recall. What's your favorite part of touring?
Ugh. Performing,
Good
performing.
answer. I like it.
Performing. That's my thing, man. Like there's nothing better than looking out and seeing somebody, Ed told me, gave me so many gems in staging and in life and just, since we've met. But one, that sticks out when I'm on stage is that it could be 2,000 people there. There's one person that is watching you the entire time. And
Yep.
there were so many times I would find that person, like I'm locking eyes with them, and
Yeah,
every
yeah,
time I look at them, they're right there with me, right?
yeah,
And so it's there's no better joy than coming up with a joke that everybody loves or
yep,
somebody laughs at, and just making that connection. Me, there's nothing better than being on stage.
yep,
Absolutely nothing better than
yep.
being.
That's a
And
perfect.
and getting PME, PME,
Yeah, PME is
PME,
important.
and getting on stage. Yep.
$75 every 2 weeks is important.
Oh yeah, yep.
What was PME in 2013? How much did you guys get?
It was probably I don't even remember. It was probably direct deposit or cash app. They probably no.
Yeah, Venmo.
Right? Yeah, I can't even remember. I can't remember, but it was, those were the times, right? Just hanging out, the days off. When talking about touring with Blue, the days off. Now, I take a lot of what I learned on the road with Tops and Blue into anytime I'm on the road now, whether it be a military function or a corporate function or on the road just at a comedy club, I'm still going out to meet people after the show. I still shake hands.
Oh, that's good.
Uh,
That's great.
I
Yeah,
leave the I leave the green room better than when I found it.
nice.
I don't put my bag up against the wall or anything like that, but I'm pretty I'm pretty good.
I don't put a Dr. Pepper on top of a speaker.
I'll say this though, I can honestly say that my training and tutelage and what I learned from Tops and Blue probably helped me more. Well, I learned a lot of stuff on stage, but what I learned about being a professional and off stage, I can honestly say that I'm probably booked repeatedly more so because of my professionalism than I
Uh,
am my talent.
nice. So if you were to list the attributes that you carried over from Blue, what would it be?
Um, Respect the stage, respect your audience.
Mhm.
Uh,
Respect the venue.
I'm right. I'm not the show. Right. If I'm a feature, if there's a headliner, it's his show. It's their show.
Right, right.
Right. Right. I'm not the show. On stage, what lighting, what a tech rehearsal or sound, sound check is actually for. It's not just
Yeah.
so you can make sure the mic is working and go 1, 2, 3, 4,
Right,
or
right.
right
Yeah.
mic check. No, what lighting is. I remember one of the first shows I did after coming off tour, I had a brown suit and I went and did lighting and they had a yellow light to light the stage. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, we need to change this. And they were
Yeah.
like, we can't. I was like, well, I can't change my suit. It's easier to change this light.
Yeah.
And they went to Home Depot and changed the light because I was a big brown turd. Like I had a brown suit on with a brown and yellow light. Like I was gonna, no.
Why does Walt look so amber?
Right. But it's those little things, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That, you know,
So your
um,
your attention to detail just got jacked after tour.
totally. I didn't know what mic technique was. I
Yeah.
didn't know that there were differences in mics, omnidirectional, and
Yeah.
I
Oh,
didn't know
think of the
anything.
things you've learned.
Right,
Wow.
right. I didn't know any of that. How to stay in the light, You know, as comics, we do, and you probably know you'll go to a venue and you're in dark, right? So you have to maneuver yourself. Like
Mhm.
I've done shows 3 feet to the right and back off center of the stage because that's where the light was.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It
Right?
wasn't where
People
the point. Wasn't where the piece of tape was at
wasn't where
all.
the piece of tape was. Like, and
Yeah,
people are like, "What are you doing?" They can't see me. Like, so I have to be over here. But those are things that I pick up, um, or that I picked up
yeah,
that all came from Blue.
yeah. Wow, wow. What's your least favorite part of touring?
Mm. Suitcases and
I would
and
agree with that.
and
Yeah.
traveling like date to date. Um, right now a lot of comics when you do a week, you're at the same place. Friday, Saturday, you get there on Thursday, and you're there until Sunday.
Mhm.
Uh, the tour is moving from hotel to hotel every day, changing hotels every day, that type of thing. That grind. That's the
Yeah.
part that I'm like, I'm 51 years old. I like comfort. I
Like
want to be in the
sleep.
same place. Yeah. Yeah. And you walk out to your car and you're like, what rent a car did I have today? What car, what am I in today?
Yeah.
Where am I at today?
Where am I at today? Yeah. Yeah.
So
Wow.
that's it.
Okay. Quick rapid fire for you. You ready?
Yes,
Rapid
sir.
fire. We already did one. You already answered one. You said your favorite comedian was Richard Pryor. Your favorite TV show as a kid?
Different strokes.
Mine was Good Times.
Good.
Dude, I had in my family, we had one TV set and Good Times and Happy Days were on the exact same time. And I was JJ Walker, that whole thing just made me roll. Just made me
Hilarious.
roll. Oh,
Hilarious. They lived in the projects and never locked their door.
never locked
Never,
the doors.
never like they
Everybody walked in. Building
lived in the
manager just
roughest
walk in.
project. Lived in the roughest projects in Chicago and never locked their door. Not
Doors.
once.
Wow. What's your favorite comfort food?
Lasagna.
Oh, now wait a second. You classify lasagna as a comfort food? See, I'm thinking more like the not to use the word wings, but wings, the
Oh,
chicken strips. You're saying lasagna? I
so let me give you the
don't
origin
want to
of
say
the
the
chicken.
W word too much.
No, let me give you the origin of this chicken wing song.
All right.
So I was actually doing parodies, right? I was writing different parodies. And I do like wings. I actually do like wings.
Mhm.
And so I had started on a parody before I went to Worldwide and just never finished it. I kind of had it in my head, and I would hum it from when the song came on, really, is the only time I would do it. And get the stage in, and we had an off night, and we go to karaoke, right, at the Atrium in San Antonio. And it start, pretty much all of the cast, uh, and they're doing karaoke. I'm having a blast, but they're doing like, and we take over karaoke wherever we're at. We just take over,
Every time it happens. Yep.
right?
Yep.
And so everybody was doing their thing. And I asked the guy, I was like, "You have Say My Name?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Throw it on." I was like, "That's what I'm gonna do." And he like looked at me. And so because I had never truly performed it. It was in my head. I would sing it.
Well, you've got to test it, right? You
I
got to test it out.
got to
Got to see if
test
it
it out.
works.
Got to test it out. And
Right.
so that was the debut of it. The trial and error of it was basically the whole tour,
Yeah.
was trial and error, putting it together in the pieces, and then yeah, and that's the
Wow.
origin of the ring song. But yeah, comfort food, lasagna. I can do
How,
lasagna.
again, how does lasagna a comfort food?
Oh man, look, because
I mean,
I'm
it
chilling.
might be
I'm
your
post.
favorite dish, but if you're out driving, if you're heading out to Clovis, New Mexico, and you're hungry, you're not going to grab lasagna.
Okay. So Whataburger.
Comfort
I'm gonna
food.
be honest. Whataburger right now.
A lot of burger.
I can't land in San Antonio
Well,
without going to Whataburger. I'm going to two places first, depending on what time of day it is and depending on how hungry I am. I'm either going to Whataburger, or I'm going to Papa Do's.
okay. All right. Favorite movie?
Hard.
No matter how many times it comes on TV, you stop at least watch a few minutes
Oh,
of it.
that's hard. Cause oh, that's so hard. Beverly Hills Cop.
Well, that's a great choice, man.
Beverly
That
Hills
makes total
Cop.
sense.
Right? It's Golden Child or Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh,
Go
dude, we wore the golden child out in overseas like you would not believe.
my dear sweet brother Nooms.
Oh, brother Noomsy, brother Noomsy. No, that's $100 bill. That ain't happening. Hang on.
Is that a bed? It's like that. So many class. Is that a bed?
It's so good. You know what? That movie would still carry today. If that was out today, it would still carry.
Come on, man. You know how many people say, I want the knife, please.
Please. It's so good.
Would you
Um,
see? Yeah, did you
what
see a half naked man running around?
it is so good. What's the favorite song that brings you comfort? So like if you so just to put it in context here, you kind of had a bad day, you're kind of in a bad mood. You got your lasagna, but you're still not quite happy yet. You got done watching The Golden Child. You're a little bit more upbeat, but you're still kind of down. What's your favorite go-to song to kind of bring your spirits up?
Uh, I'm gonna say two. One is a gospel song called "I Tried Him for Myself." Just it hit home. There's a young lady at my church in Sacramento, St. Paul Missionary Baptist Church, sitting in Oak Park, giving honor to Pastor Kenny Reese and Pastor Ephraim Williams. I had to mention their name, so I have to pay tithes this month. And then, but I tried them for myself. And then, if it isn't love by New Edition,
Oh, all
hands
right.
down,
Hands
hands
down. All
down,
right.
absolutely.
What was your first bicycle?
Had a blue Huffy with the banana seat. It
Sissy
was,
bar?
yeah,
Did it have the horn handles? Horn?
no
Were they
horn.
horn
Actually, the
handles?
horn got stolen. Horn got stolen.
What were the
Uh,
handlebars? Were they the big spread
The
outs?
Y,
Yeah.
the Y, yep, the Y looking
Yeah.
ones. Yep. And so, single mom, I always ask for stuff, and then I got the Timu version. This is before Timu was
Yeah.
out, but I would ask, like I asked for a boom box, I want the boom box, and my mom got me that little office radio
Yeah.
with the one speaker on the side.
Yeah.
I always got like the scaled down version of what I want. So I wanted a
Right.
bike. Everybody else was riding Schwinn's and with the racing handles and the lean back seat post and
Yeah.
yeah, I got the blue. Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. That's
Wow.
what I got.
So we're gonna end with this. Tell me what prior, and I use the word singularly, what prior impacted you the most or had the most effect with you during
That's
your
easy.
time with Tops and Blue?
That's easy. Easy, easy, easy. Edward Lee Jones of the
Jones.
Natchez, Mississippi Joneses.
Yep.
Hands down. From staging, so he was over staging.
Mhm.
Again, me not knowing anything about Tops and Blue, me not knowing about I could perform, but he challenged me to open up in ways where I had this and I'll just be honest, almost like masculine phobia, if you will, right? Like I was trying to keep my manhood. I wasn't trying to do too much outside of the realm of I was trying to make sure I was a man on stage, if you will, right? I'm tough and that was visible. And I
That's
for
the
sure
persona you wanted to project. Is that what you're saying? That was the persona you wanted
right.
to
I didn't want to be, because again, um, as we're learning the dances, and it's all about grace and I just wanted to, I was so scared that I would be viewed in a different way, right? I would be viewed feminine
yeah,
if I softened it up,
yeah,
if you will. And so he was really able to pull me out of that. It wasn't difficult. He just told me like, no, you can like, and then seeing Lane perform, I was like, okay, I see how, okay, I get it now. Oh, I can, so I could still be me and still have the masculinity in it, but still be graceful and move and do everything that I needed to. And then he also instilled confidence in me as far as vocal. Like my
Mhm.
whole goal was to keep my mic on. That was my challenge. So between him, Sabrina, Lane, I was able to do that. He was very instrumental off tour or during my tour because he went home to be with his mom, and I was able to call him like, "Look, I'm out here on this road, not doing comedy. Like, I can go home now, and I'll be cool. Like, they don't need me out here." And he was just, again, just like, "Nah, brother, you're learning." He was the one who told me, "Nah, you're learning more um, about the craft than you think. Like, about lighting, about audio, like all of the things I wasn't that didn't register." And then even after tour, just life lessons.
Yeah.
I remember getting took for some money from a promoter, and I got like $200, and I got paid at a corporate event, and they gave me the contract in my envelope. And so I got $200, but the promoter got $800. And I was pissed.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
pissed.
Yeah.
And I was talking to him, and he said, "Well, man, you got to learn your value. Professional people do professional things. That's my slogan. So got to have
That's
a contract.
great.
Professional people do professional things,
That's great. I love that.
right? And what does that mean? Contract, deposit, get your money before you get on stage. And
Yeah.
again, no, you agree. And this is what he told me. You agreed to $200. I said, yeah. He said, did you perform? I said, yeah. He said, did you get your $200? I said, yeah. He said, you can't be mad at nobody but
Yeah.
yourself,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Now you just know. So hands down, unequivocally, Ed.
Yeah.
No.
Gosh, I've known Ed for so long now. It's just mind-boggling when I think back to all these folks that we've intertwined with and cross-pollinated with over all these years. It's just
But
amazing.
let me show you very quickly how small and large Tops and Blue is.
Yeah.
I started recruiting in 2010, right? In Jersey. The first person I enlisted in the Air Force, I sent to worldwide. William
What?
Sanchez. William Sanchez.
Really?
William Sanchez. He was a musician, instrumentalist. First person I put in the Air Force. He enlisted, depth in. My first enlisted swearing, William Sanchez. I sent him to worldwide. Um, Kyle, Kyle walks into my office.
Paul
Uh,
McCarty?
Kyle
Come
McCarty
back?
walked into my recruitment office. I was
Wow.
Kyle's recruiter.
Oh, I
Um,
think he did tell me that when I had him on the podcast. I think he did tell me that on the
yep,
podcast. Yeah.
yep. I was his recruiter, just out, and I used to make him. He would walk in my office, and I would make him hit this high note every single time. Like
That's
hit the note.
hysterical.
He would hit this ridiculous high
Yeah.
note.
Yeah.
Then so
Talented man.
now let's fast forward to 2022, 2023. My youngest daughter is a sophomore at her school, Linganore High School, right outside of Frederick, Maryland.
Okay.
Okay. And she comes home and she goes, "Do you know who Randy Kirkland is?" And I go, "No." And he goes, "She knows Miss Glow." I'm like, "How does she know Miss Glow and how does this come up?" Randy was a teacher at my daughter's school at Linganore High School, little bitty country school outside of in Frederick, Maryland, is a teacher at Linganore High School. And they saluted her for like Veterans Day. And in her bio, it said that she was a member of Tops and Blue. And so my daughter Legend grew up. Like she came to all of the worldwides and she knows that this is my heart.
Mhm.
And so Randy Kirkland and my daughter Legend connect at Linganore High School because of Tops and Blue.
Wow.
Just
Wow.
totally out the blue. And so my daughter's favorite Tops and Blue member is Glow. I'm not her favorite Tops and Blue member.
Oh, yeah.
My daughter's favorite member is Glow. That's her best friend.
Yeah.
And so Randy and Glow are tight, and that was all they needed. That's all they needed. So that's just the biggest, smallest
Oh,
world
Klinger.
you could
Yeah.
ever think of.
Wow. Um, listen, man, I was looking through the Big Book of Blue,
Big book. Ooh.
and I've been through this book 1,000 times. And point of interest here, which tour do you think in this book is covered the most, has the most photos of the people on their cast? If you were to guess.
I'm going to say the perfect tour, which was 2000. Daryl Harris's tour, um, and maybe yeah, I'm gonna go with the 2000 and one of the tours Daryl Harris was on. Shout out Daryl Harris.
You would be wrong.
Okay,
97's team. The 97 team is they're everywhere in this book.
give
I
me
had
some
it.
names from that. Who was 97?
Kevin Bourne.
Okay, yep,
Kevin Bourne. Well, here, let's just go to the whole thing here. They have the most pitches because I was supposed to do a podcast with the 97 team, but only 2 people showed up.
oh wow,
Yeah, it was a bit of
that's
a
because they're
bummer.
reading the book. That's the
Yeah.
97.
Uh,
Who the heck was
okay,
97?
so that was that. So that was the 50th anniversary of the Air Force tour, the one I told you I had to go home on.
Okay,
Here I'm about my all my
is
glasses.
Khalil 97? Is Khalil
No,
97?
no, Cleo was 95 or 4.
Okay.
4, 95, 94. He was supposed to be on our tour 93. That didn't happen. See the names that you would know. Let's see. Chief Bush,
Luck.
Lucky, Jenny Dunlop.
Mm-hmm.
Da, 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 da. Do you know any of the Boswells? You know Lavelle Boswell?
Yep, I know the name. Yep.
Well, yeah. Dwayne Garrison, John Gibby on bass, Kimberly Gilbert, Keith Hirschman, Vince
Mm-hmm.
Hess, um, Christy Cruson, who became those 2 got married. Who else? Who else? Jason Pitts, Charmaine Reardon,
Mm-hmm.
Alan Sagdallen, Scott Sutherland, who I
Allen.
think what I'm doing. Yep.
Allen's that's my guy. That's man,
Yep.
Allen is a
Yep.
beast.
He was amazing to work with in '97. Just an amazing to work with.
He was the TD for the All-Star.
Oh, was he? Oh, no, I didn't know that. Oh, all right.
Yep.
I gotta go find me a YouTube on that. Wow.
Yep.
So, anyways, I was looking at that picture of you, hold you over the thing there, doing this whole thing.
That's the
Anyway,
levitation.
that's
That's so
levitation. That was levitation.
that's yep.
So I got to look at this picture, going, think of the people. Even though you didn't do comedy on that tour, I see you surrounded by Frank Gorshin and Jerry Van Dyke and T.A. Antoine. I'm like, dude, you've got some past and present all over you, man. It's incredible. It's incredible.
What's incredible too is just how we um help ourselves, right? How we help each other without knowing. And
Yeah.
so I know this has been long. I apologize, but
Oh, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good.
I gotta tell this one.
You're good.
Um, I'm off a tour. I'm now living in San Antonio. It's 2 years after my tour, and Sinbad is coming to San Antonio.
Okay.
And the legend and the lore is everybody in Tops and Blue knows him. Everybody. So I'm asking, hey,
Right.
can you call? Can I want to try and open? I want to try and meet him, and nothing is getting done. And so I talked to Mr. Walker, who hadn't been in touch with him in a very long time, who says, let me call Gary, Colonel Smith,
Mm-hmm.
because he may know how to get in touch with somebody. So Gary calls Renee Brantley, who is not a prior, but she is prior-esque, right?
Renee and I go way back.
That's my
hang on.
girl.
Let me get my hand. You see that
Yeah.
Roger right there?
Yeah,
And that Wilco?
yeah.
That's Renee Brantley.
There it is.
Renee Brantley's talent getting me those 2 things right there.
She's the best. Absolute
absolutely.
best.
I'm gonna get her on this thing. Come hell or high water.
Absolute best.
What?
So Gary calls Renee. Renee calls me, and she goes, hey, never met you before, but Mr. Walker and Gary say you're trying to meet Sinbad, so we're going to try and make it happen. It just so happens that he is with my daughter, and she's giving Sinbad and his daughter a tour of Spelman College in Atlanta.
Okay.
Just that weekend.
Okay.
So she goes, I should be able to get a hold of him at least through my daughter. So she does. She goes, hey, there's this boy who wants to open for you in San Antonio. He says, have the guy send me a tape, gives me the address. I send him a VA. He says, but it has to be there before Thursday because I hit the road. and I'm not going to be able to watch it while I'm on the road because it's VHS. So I send it, express it, it gets there. I don't hear anything. I'm also in night school, and I'm also supposed to get married that Friday to my current wife.
Okay.
So uh, I'm in class. Renee calls me and she goes, all he told me to tell you was to show up. He said he got the tape. I don't know if he watched it. All he told me to tell you was to show up to the venue. And I say, am I performing? Am I just going to meet him? She goes, all he said was have the boys show up. That's it. So I tell my wife or my wife, my fiance at the time, and she goes, I get it. We go down, we pick me out a nice outfit. I go down to the Majestic Theater in San Antonio about 5:30. I think show was at 7. I have my clothes with me and I go around to the back and I have my lie already. Hey, I'm Sinbad's assistant. I need to prep his dressing room. And I walk to the door and I'm about to go into it. And a guy, what the guys that work the stage, the union guys, what do they call
Union
the
guys,
stage hands and
crew?
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stage crew. Um, I go, I'm about to go into it. Hey, yeah. He goes, Walter Campbell. I go, yes, sir. He goes, let me show you to your dressing room.
Oh my Lord.
And that's how I find out that I'm opening for Sinbad.
Wow.
He never saw me. I said, did you see the tape? He was like, I never saw the tape. But this is what he said. He said, if Renee and Mr. Walker are vouching for you, I'm gonna give you a shot.
Wow.
And that's how,
Wow.
and we've been cool ever
Sight
since.
unseen.
Sight unseen. And he doesn't do it. Like he did for years, he doesn't tour. He just started touring with an opener about 5 or 6, about 4 or 5 years before he had his stroke. But
Yeah.
he for years wouldn't tour with a dedicated feature. He would let certain people open the show, but
Yeah.
those would be comics that he vetted or knew. But sight unseen, he was like, if Renee and Mr. Walker say you can go, you can go. And that's how I got on stage.
I'm without words.
It was absolute bananas. And the only time he was ever serious with me. So Mr. Walker came, we're all hanging out in the back and laughing and joking. And Sinbad is funny from
Yeah.
day one, right? It's the moment he walks in, he's funny.
Right.
He goes, hey, can I talk to the young fella? So everybody leaves. And he's 6'2", 6'4", he's 6'4". He's
Yeah.
like, yeah. And he gets serious. He just goes, all right, you can't curse. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm clean. He was like, no, you can't curse at all. You can't slip up. You can't have a mistake. Nothing. He was like, everybody comes to my show because I'm funny and they know there's not going to be any cursing. So you can't
Right.
curse. And dead serious, like dead serious. And I go, sure, yes, sir. And he jumped right back into being Sinbad. It's the
Really?
only
Just
time,
boom,
only
boom.
time he's ever been serious. Only time he's ever been serious with me.
Now think about that. Let's extrapolate out 20 years from now. Would you ever do that? Would you ever hire somebody sight unseen to open for you?
Sight unseen, not in today's society. I mean, it's too
Thank
many,
you.
not in
Yep.
today's society.
Yep.
Not in today's society. And so, when we do shows, Mr. Edwards and Air Force Entertainment have given me boundless opportunities to keep performing on military bases and installations.
Right.
And so when we come up to a base, there always are guys like, yo, I can go and let me do 5 minutes. And I was like, bro, I wish I could, but like my name is on the line.
Yeah.
And there was one time that we just very recently we let a Navy comic in Oklahoma City jump on. But that was also because we had enough time to vet them. Like we had enough time to pull up enough
Right.
videos to say, okay, we need 5 minutes. You can do 5 minutes. And again, I need you to keep it clean because it's a military installation, da 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 da. But that was the only reason why is because we had enough time to vet them. But sight unseen, jump on the stage and touch the mic. Nah, I'm cool.
Yeah. Better safe than sorry.
I mean, again, it would depend on who's vetting them.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
if Renee called you and said, "Hey,"
Yeah. If
yeah,
you called me and was like, yo, this musician can go, I'd be like,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I'm taking I'm
yeah,
holding you.
yeah, it's my reputation on the line now.
Right. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But
Yep.
it's just not you're not gonna put everybody on a stage, right?
Right.
Just, you know what? Yeah, well, hey, no, I don't think so. Well, not this one. Or you be like, oh yeah, he can go. Like Rob Carter. Rob Carter is another person I brought into the program. Right.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, his anthem he did that yesterday was just unbelievable.
So I get selected. We're in Germany. I get selected for Tops and Blue. They send us the tape. They send us music. I don't know any of this. So Rob and I, he would take me to this was my pre-staging training. He would take me to karaoke so I could
Pre-staging
practice
training.
singing. He would take me to karaoke in
Okay.
Germany. We met up with Amber Grimes,
Oh wow.
and that was and Amber was like, "Oh yeah, let me hear you sing." Ooh, baby. No.
No.
And so Rob saw my transformation, if you
Uh-huh.
will.
Yeah, yeah.
And when I came back to Germany, I did the show, saw and we always kept in touch, and I would tell him things that were going on. And he submitted the next year and toured the year after me.
Wow. Wow.
Well,
Wow. Well, I gotta tell you, this has been an absolute joy
man,
talking to you.
yeah.
Thank you for coming on, man. I just really appreciate it.
Nah, love what you're doing, Dave, man. Keep doing it. This is
I will. I
this
will.
this is I watch I definitely watch the folks that I know.
Yeah,
But it's been really interesting watching the folks that I don't know.
yeah.
Right. And that's what that's what it's about. So really appreciate you doing
I'm
this and
happy to
taking your
do it.
time and your resources and all of that, man. And just keep plugging away and doing it, man. And it doesn't go unnoticed. We love and appreciate you for it.
Well, I
Uh,
just found out Tom's watching them.
well, yeah, he got time now.
Well, I found out when I had my little chat, sat down with him at the
Uh-huh.
thing today. First thing he said was, "Dave, what you're doing with the Priory is wonderful." I'm like, oh. And then Linda goes, "You need to get him on."
Woo, that's gonna be that's a 6 hour event right there. That's one of
Yeah,
them,
I'm working out the logistics.
man. You know
Gotta
what?
happen, man.
You should have. Ooh, are you going on the cruise?
No, I'm not a cruise guy, man. I'm not a ship guy.
Yeah, I can't do it.
I can't know.
I love y'all, but y'all can have fun.
It's all fun and games till my pancreas falls out. All right.
It's
So
all fun. It's all fun and games till we have 3,200 people doing the 7 step. Just
and
stack
the
on.
ship lists because of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, it's like I just envision it as like a fame cruise. Like, you know how in Fame, this is what always struck me about Fame, the TV show.
Uh-huh.
How did everybody know the routine?
Everybody knew it.
You could be in the cafeteria and then everybody knows the
They put it
routine.
under their pillow at night, and somehow it just osmosis got to them.
You're catching the bus
Yeah.
after school
Yeah.
and you're dancing on the bus
How
and
does
then
he know what key I'm singing in?
yeah, everybody. I'm like, how does the janitor know this move? Like, what?
Yep.
How you
Yep.
never know that move?
How long has he known that mop to work it so well?
Oh my god! And that was yeah. So that's how I always envision the cruises. Like
Cruise.
we
Yeah.
just break out and TI and don't let us show song come over there.
Oh, yeah. That wouldn't
Yeah,
be
it's
good.
a wrap. But Dave, thank you so much, man. I
All right,
appreciate
sir.
it.
Thank you so much.
All
Walt
right.
Campbell, TIB 2001 and the 2013 tour,
Yes.
folks.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, sir. I appreciate you coming on. Much love to you, and
Pleasure, man.
hopefully we don't have to, wait so many years in between visits again. So,
I
oh,
got
before
to
you go, what do you got going on? Anything going
ooh,
on you want to let people know about?
comedy wise, there's some stuff on the horizon. We're working that out.
Okay, I like that.
So I
Keep me spoiled
can't mention
stuff.
too much right now.
Okay.
But in my professional life, I'm a recruitment coach and strategist. So I'm coaching across the country. I'll be in Tampa in middle of November. So, but
Well,
yeah,
please,
just
if you ever get in the Pittsburgh area, please let me know. We'll go to Permanentes or do something crazy.
I have a client in Harmony. No, yeah,
Harmony,
Harmony.
really?
Yeah,
That's uh 13 miles from me. I
yeah,
used to
Harmony.
jog there all the time.
Yeah, yeah. I got a client in
Harmony's a beautiful town.
Harmony Volunteer Fire Department, right there on that
Huh.
little
Yeah,
main little
amazing. Yeah,
drag street.
I know
Yeah,
exactly where it's at. When's
yeah.
that going to happen?
I'll be out there in about a month. If we don't do it before Thanksgiving, it'll be after the holidays. So it'll
Okay,
be
let me know.
oh
Let me
six.
know.
I'll definitely let you
We'll
know.
sync up. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, folks. Walt Campbell, folks. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, man.
Take care, man.